Now, Chris, it would be easy for me and the viewers at home to pigeonhole you as a bit of a petrol-obsessed maniac who throws darts at electric cars at the weekend, but you're quite on board with this whole EV thing, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. When they work, when they actually fit a purpose, I'm on board. A Tesla Model 3, fantastic car.
Yeah.
Yes,
Taycan.
I seem to go for the expensive, fast ones. This thing, okay, is an object. They've knocked it out the park. I still think the styling has lost a bit from the concept.
Yeah, but the concept was the coolest thing anyone had ever seen.
I just wish. It's a bit like the Alfa Brera, you know, when it was productionised, you were like, oh, the wheelbase is a bit wrong, and they've done this and they've shifted it, and the end effect, cumulatively, was not anything like as impactful, and I think that's the same with this for me.
Yeah.
The cabin, though, wow. I mean, if ever you'd buy a car, just for the interior alone, it's this one.
Yeah.
And I remember driving along on some road in the Midlands with a goldfish tank looking at me, and I just thought,
Touch the screen, little bits of food drop down for the fish.
There's something about a team of people having a joyous experience making a car, and it always, it sort of secretes from the car when you drive it.
Yeah.
You feel the joy, and there is real joy in this car. But, it's a big but, I know you're running one. As an urbanite, it's fine for you, but the range for me is pointless. I can't use it the way I use a car. So what is it? It's a 30 grand trinket that's for urban drivers. And do you know what? That's probably the majority of the population.
I was going to say 60-70% of people live in cities, don't they?
But for me, it's a slightly missed opportunity. I just thought all the tech and all the love has gone into making it an object, whereas technically it's not that clever in terms of how fast it is and what the batteries do. Yeah. The suspension's good, and it's got a very expensive rear end on it, hasn't it? It's basically double wishbones at the back, hasn't it?
Yeah, it rides beautifully.
It does.
It's quite busy because it's a small car, but there's just no harshness.
It's sophisticated in the way it does that. And I have to say, you know, we lined it up against a Corsa and a Mini, and no one looked at the other two.
Despite the fact the Corsa can go twice as far on a charge as this thing, but
who's
you don't want one.
Well, who's you know, ultimately, for the last 20 years, Apple have proved that you can make a product that's not as good as a much more mundane product and doesn't have anything like the spec, but if it looks and feels great and comes in a fancy package, people will pay double for it. And that's what this is.
I thought they were, you're probably going to pull me up on this, almost parallels with the Taycan in that this is a new car from scratch platform. This is a company saying, right, we're going to do an electric car, we better throw everything at, throw our best boys at it, and girls. And as you said, that sort of love, it's not over-engineered.
Yeah.
A bit like the Taycan, we're not messing this one up.
No, I think it's a wonderful object. I'm not sure how many they'll sell or how many they're going to build.
Yeah.
And I suspect they're not making much profit on any of them either.
Yeah.
So, yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I see the joy in it, but if it had a range of 280 miles, then I'd be going, wow, total game changer.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
And what is it about Honda that makes it such a cool company? Because they're a bit hit and miss, but when they get it right, they seem to get it quite right.
You get the feeling that Toyota is run by accountants, the Honda's run by engineers, and that when there's a board meeting, the engineers have a stronger voice at Honda, and consistently they're willing to take risks and pioneer and just spend more money on components, and sometimes totally needlessly. You know, the rear suspension in this car is well beyond what's necessary. It's quite weird. In fact, if they'd gone for more expensive batteries and more range, that would have made more headlines. But someone there's gone, we need double wishbone rear suspension. You're going, well, do you really?
Yeah.
So I love that. There's a quirkiness to it, and it is an amazing company. And I just hope it sells in the volumes it needs to.
So I'm pretty sure the answer to this is no. You're not going to buy one for yourself.
No.
But I was thinking first car for your kids. Because they can't go far from the house, can they?
Yeah, but too expensive. I mean, look, it's too nice an object. They don't deserve it. They've got to have a skanky Polo 1 litre before they get anywhere near this. And I do like the colour. And I have to say, on the interior alone, it's a buy.
So it's a good answer, but it's not the right answer.
Yes, good summary.